Okay, so it's time that we go into the first of our segments, Jennifer. This one is Past the Pitchfork, and this is where we put a question to you from our previous guest. The previous guest was Harold Mann from Mann Consulting over there on the West Coast. Fascinating gentleman, and he's built an amazing business, but really not had a conscious focus on the sort of sales process specifically. He's kind of almost anti-sales, even though he's very good at it. And he was saying, look, even I still struggle with the issue of ghosting. I've got a great relationship with the customer. I've presented the proposal, and I guess we've touched on this a little bit already, but then I just don't hear back from them. And he's asking, have you got any words of advice that might help him out with that topic?
Yeah, so we talked about hey, we're going to come back and look at the investment and make sure it checks all the boxes that you need. So that's one way of approaching it. A second way would be if as you're walking out, you can just say, because if you're getting ghosted, if we reverse engineer that, you probably just heard, sounds good, I need to think about it. And so you know that that's leading to one of two places on like a critical path. Either they're going to call you tomorrow, next week, and say, sounds great, or they're going to ghost you. Very rarely are you going to get a call with a no. So you can work into your process. Again, we don't want the ghosting. And so you can just say, listen, sometimes people get busy. So I want to ask you for permission. I know we've got a call coming up in 10 or 12 weeks for another quarterly review. Are you okay if I bring this up if time just flies by and I don't have an answer from you? And they're probably going to say, oh, yeah, I plan to get you an answer, but if time slips by, yep, sure, bring it up in a quarter. And so that isn't a fast yes. It's not necessarily avoiding the ghosting, but it's almost managing for the expectation that you're going to get ghosted. So the ideal is that you've said, I'm coming out, I'm going to present the agreement, we're going to go over the pricing, make sure it makes sense, and you're going to tell me yes or no. But that's the ideal. But if they're not going to play by the rules and they don't want to give you an answer, or if perhaps you forgot to preface this call with that script and that talk track, then you can adjust on the fly and say, let's talk about it in a quarter if we haven't nailed this down.